When we very first started looking at some things to make us more efficient on our trucking side, we looked at a number of things. On-site refueling, and tracking were the two most prevalent items for us. And in the end of our initial review, we settled on the tracking. And we knew we needed something to be more efficient, and we knew we needed something to make us more profitable. And it has certainly done that. The tracking has allowed us to, by cutting those idle times, has allowed us to save upwards of $7,000 a year just by our drivers turning their trucks off. In addition to that, one of the other areas that we save in measurably is U.S. Fleet allows us to set up what we refer to as a geofence. And in that geofence, we can say, okay, at this location, we want to know when the driver enters this area and exits this area. One of our primary geofences is around the area where we fuel, which is very close to us. But it allowed us to go from an average refuel time of 18 to 22 minutes down to between 7 and 12 minutes. In that process, those minutes saved times our hourly rate for our staff, times the number of trucks/drivers in our fleet, times the number of days in the week, times the number of weeks in the year, has led to a savings of a little over $20,000 a year. I think the one feature of U.S. Fleet tracking that we couldn't live without would certainly be the reporting. I've mentioned earlier one of the things that we use it often for is that kind of level of exoneration of our employees, of our drivers. Were they there? Were they not there? But with that reporting, it lets me watch the idle time we talked about. It lets me watch the path they've taken during the day. It allows me to stop. How long were they somewhere? Did we go and drop off 27 cases and stayed there for an hour and a half? Did we deliver 400 cases and stay there an hour and a half? Well, which one makes more sense? So if I've got a driver coming back at 6 o'clock every day when I think he probably could be back in by 4:30, the reporting allows us that kind of ability to confirm that kind of information. You know, one of the things that I think made the decision to use U.S. Fleet tracking in our GPS systems in the vehicles was certainly the fact that this was something we could try and back away from if we needed to. The fact that we didn't have to sign a contract made it a touch easier, I think, for us to enter into something that we weren't sure how or if it worked for our purposes, and it certainly exceeded our expectations. Now we're at a point where a contract wouldn't be a bad deal because I'm not sure we could do what we do without the U.S. Fleet tracking system.